Hello again, Twill.tv viewers. You see in front of you, as you may have gleaned, a Windows Phone. This is a relatively inexpensive little Windows Phone I actually picked up last year, probably about this time last year. This is the Nokia Lumia 520. It's a little AT&T device, retails usually for about, I don't know, $60 to $80, but around Black Friday last year, it was $40. Now, the reason I show you this is not because I want to talk about it specifically, but as you might have guessed, Black Friday just passed again this year, and the Microsoft Store was having a sale on this little guy. It's actually kind of several steps up from the 520. This is the Lumia 635, and it's similar in a lot of ways to the 520, but it does have some notable differences. The 520, as you might even be able to see here, the 635 is going to be a little bit bigger than it, not a massive amount bigger. The 520 though has a dual-core processor, 512 megs of RAM, 8 gigs of built-in storage. The 635 has a quad-core Snapdragon 400 processor, so it should be better for power and it should be better for actual performance as well. But it's got that same 512 megs of RAM and 8 gigs of storage. So other than that, it's pretty similar. This one has about a 1400 milliamp hour battery. The 635 has an 1800 and something milliamp hour battery. Neither one of these is really gonna blow your socks off or anything, but I just wanted to go ahead and talk about it. The reason I picked this first one up is because I was curious, honestly. I mean, $40 for a phone like this, it doesn't really matter entirely what it does, because as long as it can make phone calls, text messages, and a little bit of app usage, it should work out okay. And I mean, as you can see, it is still functional a year later. It's receiving updates continually, and Microsoft has actually said that all the Lumias on the market now are going to get updates to Windows 10, Windows Phone 10, whenever it does come out. So yeah, this one, it should still continue to be useful, even though using it the last couple of hours, it's been slow. But anyway, the point of this video, let's go ahead and open this up. I wanted to just show you what comes in the box. I went ahead and took the liberty of dismantling, demolishing a little bit this box because I didn't want to fight with it on camera. But yeah, so here we go. This is actually the phone itself. And the funny thing is, holding it in my hand right now, it kind of feels like a toy. I know a lot of that's going to have to do with the battery, because this one without a battery in it was very, very lightweight. So anyway, this is what it should look like when it's all said and done. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything else interesting here in the box. Get that SIM out of the way. Here in the bottom, of course, we should have lots more junk. Sorry about all the noise there. This thing, power brick, yeah. Like I said, the 635 was $40, so if it comes with anything, I'm going to be pleased. We got a little quick start guide. We've got the, of course, most useful component, the battery, and just some feature guides, stuff about the device. You've got your AT&T plan choices. I'm probably going to stick my Cricket SIM in it when I do use it as a phone, and that'll be that. But anyway, let me go ahead and I'll peel these stickers off, and then we'll get to work with it. I will say, so far, I'm not a huge fan of having this big old sticker on the front. This is definitely not a sticker like you would see on one of the other, like an Android device or any other phone I've really used in the past, because this leave a bit of a sticky residue on there, but that's not too bad. One of the other notable upgrades I saw this over the 520 is it supposedly has Gorilla Glass 3 on the front, whereas the previous device I think is just plain old plastic, cheap old plastic. But yeah. Realistically, at $40, if this will play back music, maybe take some crappy photos here and there, and other than that, it doesn't really need to do much. It'll be more than fine for me. I mean, technically, I could put some games on it and use it as a secondary device for my 5-year-old, and it would be perfectly fine at $40. Alrighty, managed to get all the stickers off at this point, I think. So let me go ahead and take the back off so I can pop the battery in, or maybe not. If you just push on the camera lens and pull, it comes right off. Yeah, that's me being a noob with regard to phone backs, because most of the phones I work with don't have removable backs. Anyway, here we go. We have the battery here. It does say 1830 milliamp hours. And we'll go ahead and pop this in, get it started up, and just see how everything looks out of the box. There we go. It goes back together very nicely. Now that I've got a battery in it, I hate to say it, but the 520 still feels a little more solid. It's rounded on the corner, so it will probably be easier to hold the newer one easier because it does have squared off corners. But anyway, let's go ahead and start it up. Now, the other thing I immediately noticed before it even starts up, it doesn't have a camera button. I thought it was a requirement that all Windows Phone devices had to have a camera button. You probably can't see that because it's kind of dark in here. Camera button there, not over here. And I will say I kind of like that, but the camera has not changed from the 520, 521, either one. So I'm not going to use this device as a camera. But there you go. That didn't take terribly long for it to come up. Let's start. Sure, we're going to go through this quick wizard. I'm going to have to hook it to my home wireless network. There we go. We are signing in now. I will say, typing on this is a little bit easier than typing on the 520, as you might expect, because it's got a slightly larger screen. The screen itself looks nice, but I think it's about the same as the one on the 520. Not really that big of a difference. We'll go ahead and just take the recommended settings to get started. We are not in the Pacific region. We're going to go ahead and go to Eastern Time, and it is not 521. That's a little bit better. We'll go ahead. Do I want to sign in? Sure. Alrighty, and at this point it's seeing some other, I can restore data from other phones. I don't want to restore anything, but it does show the, I'm guessing this is the Windows Phone 520 I was talking about. This is probably the HTC 8X I tested before that I didn't really have a great experience with. No, I'm not going to back anything up. And Cortana, sure, we're going to do Cortana stuff. That's one of the new features that's come in newer versions of Windows Phone that I have not spent a whole lot of time with, but it's supposed to be kind of similar to Apple's Siri or Google Now. I do use Google Now an awful lot, as you can see from the Android Wear device on my wrist. Now, unfortunately, the Android Wear stuff isn't going to work with this, obviously, but still, yeah, setting up apps, it's going to take another minute or two. Okay, that took a couple of minutes, but no big deal. We'll go ahead and hit next. It says we're almost done. And then it's going to try to do an activation. Unfortunately, it's, yeah, SIM error. I don't actually have a SIM installed in it. But sticking this up side by side with the 520, oh, Windows Phone is talking to me, trying to get the most out of it. Things need my attention. There we go. I will say, unless the colors, unless it's using a different color scheme or something, the blues are significantly different, but let's see if I can find a similar icon. Of course I can't. There's some greens that are similar. Put those side by side and see how they look. On the camera, it's hard to tell. Here in person, they're pretty close. I mean, they're supposed to be using roughly the same panel. The 520, the older screen, looks a little brighter, and that could just be a setting. Maybe I'm missing. There we go. Got this one on high. This one doesn't have that option in there, but I can go into the menus and find it, I'm sure. But either way, they both look pretty bright. I will say, that's one of the things I kind of hate about the Windows Phone experience is it's a little difficult to deal with some of the menus. But there we go. We're the same brightness. The colors look slightly different. I'm guessing this one's just got a different theme on it, a different skin, slightly different. Yeah, that's my mistake entirely there. We do have the dark background, but then we have cobalt as the color on the old one. We'll change that over to cyan, and it should be relatively similar now. That's a little closer, but I'm guessing maybe this is a Nokia cyan versus well, it should be Nokia as well. Colors are definitely not bad, not complaining about them in the slightest, but yeah. So far, they look relatively similar. I'm guessing the one here on the left, the 635, should perform a little bit better, have a teeny bit more screen real estate, and will hopefully hold up a little bit better. Although the original one hasn't been bad at all. I will say this does have on-screen buttons instead of capacitive buttons. The older device did have the capacitive buttons, so that's a noticeable change as well. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and dive in and use this a little here and there over the next few weeks, few months. We'll probably use it. One of the things I'd planned on doing with it was trying to find a good audiobook or podcast app. I know with Windows Phone 8.1 they did introduce a podcast app that has some new settings to it, so I may download some podcasts with that. It looks a little sluggish so far, but not bad. I mean, just when it was first starting up. Let's just see. I haven't actually listened to Serial yet, and I've had several people tell me I need to listen to it. So let's just pick that, and I'll go ahead and subscribe to it. There we go. I'm subscribed. I'm going to download them, and we'll tell it to play the oldest and keep all of them. And there we go. At this point, it should be downloading all of the all of the stuff about this podcast, and then I'll be able to listen to it maybe while I'm out running or something. Yeah, so far, I mean, this feels a little, this app in particular feels a little sluggish, but like I said, I'm going to be trying it out and just seeing how it goes. I mean, it shouldn't run any worse than the 520, and realistically, for $40, if it will allow me to get on the internet, do a couple of apps here and there, and listen to some music maybe, that's more than I can expect out of it. In all honesty, one of my coworkers has the 521 on T-Mobile and is using it as a daily driver, and he absolutely loves it. So this is definitely a useful device. If you can find it on sale, $40, $60, something like that, definitely worth taking a look at, but I don't want to give any sort of full thoughts or full review on it until I've had some real time with it. So if you do have any questions or anything you'd like to see on this, let me know down in the comment section below. That's all from me for today, though. Thanks for watching. See you next time.